Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We're the Garso twins. If you haven't already, we'd love it if you would subscribe down below. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to be talking about hair and how we made our hair healthy again. So we'll go into all that, and if you're interested, then just keep watching. Okay, so just to put out like a disclaimer, these things have worked for us, but we know that everyone's hair is different and they might not work for you. So take it with a grain of salt, but these are just recommendations we have to make your hair even a little bit healthier than it already is. And just backstory on our hair story, we'll go through it. We actually recently went really light. This is the lightest we've ever been. Yeah. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh wow, their hair looks different, it's because we went blonde and we got a lot of biolage put in and we really like it. But we wouldn't have been able to do this if we wouldn't have had decently healthy hair going into it. So backstory on our hair, we never dyed our hair until we were 18. 18. And at that point we had, our natural color is like an ash light brown. So at that point we dyed it like a red dark brown. We didn't love it. It was weird. It was weird. But we liked the depth of it. We just didn't like how warm it was. So we dyed that, and that was like fine. It didn't really damage our hair. We're pretty sure they used like good quality dye. Then shortly after that, we moved to California. And at that point, we couldn't really afford to go to a salon. We were broke 18-year-olds. Yeah, we were 18 in college, had just moved across the country, like could not afford a salon. So we got the bright idea to dye our hair black. And the box dye we used wasn't that bad. I do want to say. It was the Garnier Nutrice. Oh my god. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible, but it was black. So we actually loved our black hair. When we had black hair, we got a ton of compliments. Like people would always be like, oh my god, your black hair and your light eyes, like it's so pretty. We looked exotic. We tanned a lot back then too. We looked way different. We liked the look back then. But after like how many years? Oh my gosh. I think we box dyed it for maybe 4 years. Until we were 22? No. 3 years? 3 years. Probably till we were, 3 years. And then we got the bright idea that we wanted to get ombre done. And if you know what ombre is, it's kind of like what we have now, but yeah. It was like when ombre was new, so it didn't look very blended. It was like dark hair into light ends. And it looked pretty blunt. Now I wouldn't do it. It's not really my taste. But back then, it was new, it was hot, it was trending. We wanted it. So we found a stylist that was willing to take our black hair light. Our box dyed black hair was like permanent dye. Yeah, not even demi-permanent. Like no one in San Diego would do it. Like that we were in North County, so there wasn't a lot of options. And so we found a stylist that was like, yeah, I can do it. We were there for like, oh my gosh, 9 hours. So long. She basically had to bleach our whole head to get the blackout. It was so splotchy. I'm pretty sure she bleached the whole head twice and then the ends 3 times. Yeah, because so she bleached the whole head, then she dyed it the brown, so it kind of blended in with our roots. We'd still have to dye our roots, but it just wasn't as stark from the black. And nothing against her, because we like basically made her do this. Like, and she told us like, you don't have healthy hair. I just bleach it so much. Like chances are some of it might fall out. She said, she warned us, but we were like, we want this done, blah blah blah. We like didn't, you know, most people would do it slowly. So like they do one bleach, come back a month later, do another. But we were like, no, we want this done. Long story short, within like a month, we both noticed like inches coming off our hair. Like we would wake up and the ends of our hair would be like, it was like you got a haircut overnight. Because if you know ombre, you know that it's like, it is kind of stark, so you can see where the bleach is, and the bleach part just kept getting shorter and shorter and shorter until it literally didn't exist anymore. Yeah, it was horrifying. We were so shocked. We were so mad because we spent so much money, but we knew it was our fault because our hair was so unhealthy. And so then at that point, I mean, we talked about this probably before on our channel, but at that point it got so short that we had her kind of just cut it like shoulder length, and we got extensions. And we had her cut it shoulder length, dye it like a medium brown, and then put in extensions. Yeah. So at that point, again, we had tape and extensions, and it just wasn't the healthiest thing for our hair, because you would remove them to get them redone, and it would just pull up strands of your hair. It wasn't good. Basically, by the time this was all over and we were ready to move to Los Angeles, we took out the extensions ourselves because we just didn't want to pay for it another time, and our hair hadn't grown at all. It was still super damaged. It was uneven. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. But at least it was one color. We didn't want another haircut because it was so short. We were just like, no, no, no. So then we moved to LA, and then at that point we discovered E-Salon, which we still really love and use for our root color, and that's a demi-permanent dye. It's honestly the best option if you don't want to go to a salon, but you don't want a box dye. It's right in the middle. It's $20. We do it every 8 weeks, and it is a really good quality dye. Like, it does dye your roots, but it since it is
or your whole head. We just dye our head.
Yeah. But we did use it for a whole head in the past, and it just looks really natural because it kind of blends in with your natural hair even when you dye the roots, because it does fade because it's not permanent. So it just kind of makes everything look blended together, more natural. It's less harsh. Highly recommend them. Yeah, really, really good. That alone, that could be one of our tips. It definitely changed our hair for the better, using demi-permanent dye instead of like permanent dye. And we didn't do it that frequently. It's just really good quality. So like same as salon quality.
Yeah.
And then after that, we just kind of we kept doing that for 3 years.
Yeah,
and so our hair just naturally grew because we weren't using box dye. We weren't even dyeing the whole head.
We didn't have extensions.
We didn't have extensions. So that, I guess, would be our first tip, is to use a high, like, either go to a salon to get your hair done or use demi-permanent hair dye, because it is so much better for your hair, and that it doesn't last as long as permanent. Like, you'll see it fade, but it's so much better for your hair.
Yeah.
So yeah, tip number 1, and that is our hair story. So now that you guys know what we've been through and what it took to get here and what we kind of did to make our hair grow back and be nice again, we'll get into all the tips. We'll get into all of it. Okay, so the girl that originally did our ombre back in San Diego, she was a really good hairdresser, and she told us, like, you don't have good hair, you need to get it healthier. And her number 1 tip was to get a microfiber hair towel. We talked about this in our Best of Amazon video.
We did.
And we've been using this for like 6 years now, probably.
Not the same one. We
purchased them in 6 or 7, but they are a godsend if you have damaged hair, because they soak up so much water. So whenever we wash our hair, we just put it up in this towel and leave it on for, I don't even know how much time.
Well, that's one of my other tips.
Yeah, so but you leave it on, and then when it's time to blow dry your hair or air dry, you take it out, and like it's basically halfway dry because of this towel. So that it just reduces the time you need to blow dry in general, which obviously anytime you put heat on your hair, it's going to make it damage. So this towel has been a lifesaver for us. When we started using this and our hair was so damaged, this helped more than anything right away.
So much. And we can just go into tip number 2, because it's kind of the same thing.
For me personally, I work from home often, so on days that I'm actually washing my hair, I will keep it in a microfiber towel for like an hour until it's, I'd say, 60 to like 75% dry, maybe even more, maybe like 80% dry, and then I'll blow dry it. So I'm only blow drying it and putting heat on it for like 5 minutes or less. It's
helps
time to mine, and I think I only do 5 or 6 minutes as well.
Yeah, like I don't do that much regardless, because this does soak up so much water, but I've just found that if I'm home and I don't have to blow dry my hair right away, just letting it sit in the towel and getting off that water without heat is so much better for your hair than doing the whole time with the blow dryer. So really just trying to get out as much water as you can before going to the blow dryer, because less heat is better for your hair. So since we're on the topic of heat and heat protectant, tip number 3 is to use oils or cream products as a heat protector. So our favorite oil is the Verb Ghost oil. This is so good for fine hair like ours, because it does not weigh it down. It smells so good. We talked about this before. What does it even smell like? Oh, and it has moringa, which is also in the hand cream we just got.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It smells so clean and fresh. You get 2 fluid ounces for, I think, $18?
16.
$16.
It used to be 14. I noticed that.
I think I used like 2 pumps for my whole head, and so anything basically that comes in a spray has added alcohol in it, because they need to make the spray like liquidy and
I mean, we can't say everything,
we can't
every
say for
delivery
sure.
system is different,
but in general, that's how it works. Like if something's in a spray, it has
just like
alcohol.
hairspray, you know?
Yeah, and so we try to avoid alcohol on our skin and anything as much as possible,
especially your hair.
Especially your hair. So creams and oils are the best, because they also penetrate. Like the Moroccan oil treatment is
we
a
love this
long-time
one
favorite
too.
of ours. This really penetrates the hair. I use this mainly on the ends.
But yeah, it says alcohol free.
Does this one? I wonder if this one...
It doesn't, but it has to be. I hope so. What if we don't know?
Or it's just lower down on the list.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, this one, if you're looking for something super alcohol-free, it's the Moroccan oil treatment. Love this stuff. I definitely concentrate it more on the ends. And it just like penetrates the strands. You can feel it getting healthier over time with use. But yes, if you're on the lookout for a new heat protectant, we know that there's so many out there. It can be so overwhelming. Or if you're on a budget, and because the Moroccan oil one is very pricey, but worth it in our opinion.
And it's a large container.
It is, yeah, you get a lot. But we understand, like, obviously, if you want to buy something from the drugstore, just look for something that either says alcohol-free or is a cream product. Like, those are going to be your best bet.
Or just buy an oil. Like, even The Ordinary has oils. Like,
and then just put that in your hair.
Yeah, like marula.
Argan oil. Yeah, just buy a straight up oil and you know that'll help and that'll be so pure and good for your hair.
Yeah, just pure and oils. Tip number 3.
Okay, for tip number 4, this one is like the number 1 recommended thing to do by any hairdresser, and that is to not wash your hair every day. I always wash our hair every day until
just in high school.
Yeah, until we were adults. And then we gradually started, and now I can wash it like every 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? I've been even doing like every 4 days, and that sounds gross, but like just use dry shampoo and you will be fine, and your hair will get used to it. Like even if you are like, oh my gosh, I'm so oily, I can't do that. Just see how long you can go, and over time, the oil production will stop, and you won't get, not stop completely, but it won't be as much, and you'll get less oil in your hair. And it's just been a godsend. Like that is the number 1 thing that you can do for your hair is to not overwash
it's so much better for
especially your hair. Like now that we have like all these blonde pieces, like your color will fade if you're washing it a lot. So it'll even be better, like you don't have to go to the salon as much, and it's just overall so much better for your hair. So tip number 5 is to use a sulfate-free shampoo. This one is the Moroccan Oil Color Continue shampoo, and they'll always say on the bottle like sulfate-free. This one's free of sulfates, phosphates, and parabens, which is awesome. Yeah, this one is the Verb Ghost shampoo. Love this packaging. I think it's so cute.
Yeah.
This is no parabens, no gluten, and no sulfates. Yeah. So anytime sulfates just strip your hair, and so if it's colored hair, you're definitely gonna notice. Like it's going to fade your hair a lot faster. But just in general, like even if you don't color your hair, sulfates strip. So always look for something that says sulfate free. If it's free of other things as well, that's even better. But you can also find like really good options at I think there's a lot of the OGX, that line, that doesn't have sulfates.
Maybe
and
all
the
of them
L'Oreal
don't.
Everpure. Yeah, we actually love the L'Oreal Everpure line. We've been buying that for a while because it smells like mint. It smells so good. So that's tip number 5. Tip number 6, it kind of goes hand in hand. This is to use hair masks in place of a conditioner because they're more concentrated. I mean, you generally get more product, I feel like, because you only need a tiny amount. Like this is the Amika Nourishing Mask. I know they changed the packaging. It's called something else now. Oh, it's kind of wet from my shower.
You just got it on me, but that's okay.
And I use the Kiehl's Olive Fruit Oil Deeply Reparative Hair Pack. And to be honest, I think this is breaking my back out. But I've since gotten over that, and I just love it so much. It has healed my hair, so I will continue to use it. Like hair masks, like I said, they're just more concentrated. You only need a small amount. Concentrate these on the ends of your hair for sure, so it doesn't weigh down your whole head. You don't need it on your whole head.
Yeah, but you seriously need the tiniest amount,
so
a little goes a long way.
Yeah, and this one is also sulfate free. I know it is.
A lot of conditioners are.
That's true.
I don't know. Mine doesn't say a lot, but
yes, safe for color treated hair, free of parabens, sulfates, and artificial colors. So mine is sulfate free, which again is another good thing, but most conditioners, or a lot of them, are already sulfate free.
Because they're not lathering, they're not washing.
Number 7 is Olaplex. Everyone needs to get this little guy. It is the Olaplex Hair Perfector number 3. It says repairs and strengthens all hair types. And if you haven't heard of Olaplex, it's like this crazy system that I think a scientist invented.
Yeah.
And it's not a conditioner. It like bonds your hair back together. So it just completely repairs damage. And it's a 3-step system, but you can only do number 1 and 2 in a salon. That's not accessible to the public. But number 3 you can buy in stores, and we get ours from Sephora. So it's like amazing that you can order on Sephora. It's $28, which is a lot considering it's only 3.3 ounces. But it is seriously a game changer.
It's changed our hair completely.
And we didn't even have that damage of hair when we first picked this up, but you can notice the difference like immediately.
It makes your hair so silky, so smooth.
Yeah, I think you put it on, okay, so use on damp towel dried hair. You apply a small amount or generous amount from scalp to ends, and it says leave on a minimum of 10 minutes, but 30 minutes is what we always do.
And then you have to again shampoo and condition.
Yeah,
because it says not a conditioner. It's a bond builder, and it truly does repair the broken bonds in your hair. It makes it so much stronger. We've noticed such a difference. One of our friends is blonde. She's noticed a major difference. So we just recommend anyone buying this. It can work for everyone.
Okay, number 8 is these guys right here, the Invisibobbles. We are obsessed with them.
Love them.
We always had issues with hair ties, regular ones, and putting our hair up. Like, we would get such bad tension headaches. It would get kinks in your hair, just not a good situation. So we never really wore our hair. I mean, we did, but just not as often. Now, with these, like, we can wear our hair up so much more often. It doesn't leave a kink in your hair. It's better for your hair because it's not really pulling. Like, the Invisibobble moves with your hair.
Like, I still have so much breakage at the front from putting my hair up so much, and this is so much more gentle that it, like, obviously your hair stays up, but it's not pulling, so you're not getting all those like little breakage hairs.
It's honestly insane. We don't even know how they work, but they just, like, it twists into your hair.
So good.
So it works with your hair, not against it, essentially. I think a 2-pack is what, $8?
Or $3.
Three packs for $8.
A 3 to a pack for $8.
Okay, 3 to a pack for $8. You can get these at Sephora. You can really find them anywhere now. They're all over the place.
And they come in all shades, so I have the brown ones.
This
too.
one's clear.
Okay, number 9 is to use a wet brush. And actually, we were at the salon recently, and they said to use a, what is it called?
Well, just a brush with the metal bristles.
Yeah, which we have never bought those, so we can't speak to it, but we've had great success with the wet brush. And basically, it's like, is it a silicone brush?
I don't know.
I don't know, plastic, something, but it glides through your hair so nicely when it's wet. Again, our old stylist in San Diego told us about this when we had super damaged hair.
And that was back when they were only available to salons.
Yeah, like you couldn't buy them anywhere. Now you can get them at Target, so they're super accessible. But it really does like effortlessly glide through damp hair, and that is when your hair is most susceptible to breakage, I think.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah, when it's wet and you're like combing through it and you're just like breaking your hair. So this is so much more gentle, and we've had great success using it.
Sure.
Way less breakage.
Okay, number 10, I don't have any products with me because it's just more of a tip, but anything that comes in an aerosol spray has a ton of alcohol in it. Alcohol is usually the #1 ingredient, so basically dry shampoo and hairspray. So we do still use hairspray here and there, but if you do use hairspray, concentrate it only on the ends because you really don't want to be putting that all over, and you really don't need it on the top of your hair because it's only to lock in curls, really, right? So if you use hairspray, concentrate it on the ends. And it says, the can says like hold 10 to 12 inches away, please hold it 10 to 12 inches away. I feel like if you hold it any closer, that's just building up on your hair, and alcohol just dries everything out. Your skin, your hair, it's not good for you. And the same with dry shampoo. We obviously just said that we don't wash our hair super often, so we do use a lot of dry shampoo, and we're trying to make the switch from aerosol sprays to powder dry shampoo because powder doesn't really have alcohol in it. I don't think any of them would. And so since it's going on your scalp, like that is drying out your scalp because you're spraying alcohol on it essentially.
And you want to have a healthy scalp so your hair is healthy.
Yeah, so if you use dry shampoo, try to use a powder. I know they're more expensive. We've recently tried the Bumble and Bubble Pret powder.
Yeah, it's in my cart from Sephora to order, so I'm gonna get it.
We tried it at the store because we were determining if we wanted to try the Verb one or that, and we really, really love the Bumble and Bumble one. But I know there's one that Aveda makes, even Lush makes one. There's a few. There's not as many options, obviously, as aerosol dry
Probably
shampoo.
none at the drugstore, which is unfortunate.
I know. Hopefully someone comes out with one soon, but we're trying to make the switch. Try to make it with us to avoid getting alcohol in your scalp because it is so bad for your hair and your head. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hope you take something away from it. And if there's anything we missed and you have a tip for us, please let us know down below because we're always trying to make our hair as healthy as it can be.